Hello and welcome to the Retro Game Vault. I just want to actually show you guys today just what you can do if you come across a DS and you want to give it a quick test. So there's an absolutely amazing application built into the system called PictoChat, and here you can test almost every function of the DS itself. So here's what I do, at least if I'm at a store and I'm just seeing if something works. Number one, draw on the screen, obviously make sure that responds. You can pick up letters off the keyboard and drag them around and just make sure they don't get dropped, because that means if they do get dropped, there's a problem with the touchscreen, right? Whether it's a indentation or something like that, then just scribble across it, and once again just make sure that the whole line stays. Now I'll show you a couple of other interesting things. Obviously there's a keyboard down there, and if you push the A button it types things, as well as if you push the B button, it deletes them. So you can easily test those two just using any character. The X and the Y button also do something. X is capitals, and Y swaps out the keyboard. So there's all those four face buttons tested, as well as if you push start, it sends the message to the top screen, and select copies it down. So all the face buttons can be tested in a reasonable amount of time. Now, of course, you gotta kinda know how it's supposed to feel, but once you do, it's pretty simple. The D-pad also moves around the cursor on the keyboard, so you can even test that too in the same application. Just super simple things that you can do. Last but not least are the shoulder buttons, which on DS Lites are super infamous. Click one of them, it'll pull the message down, that way you can make sure it's working. And on the other side, if you click it in, it'll push the messages up, just going through the log. So that's literally every button you can possibly test on the DS, done in one application itself. So that's already pretty impressive. But there's of course a few more things that you can test. It might not be as easy at like a yard sale or something, but of course you want to do the usual tests of plug in a cartridge for the DS slot and make sure nothing bad happens, right? Make sure it recognizes, make sure it boots, make sure you don't get a black screen when you do. As well as, obviously, if there's a charger, make sure it actually charges the system, because you'd be shocked. After just a little bit of gameplay on this, you pretty much know it's fine. Now, of course, you can be the one to decide whether this is overkill or if you don't want to waste your time doing this, because it doesn't happen very often, but I do see it once in a blue moon, and that's why I always suggest, if you just have a DS or a Game Boy Advance game, or if they have it where you're looking, right, just pop it in, make sure it loads like it should, because once in a blue moon you'll run into something bad. But that being said, if you've got one on hand, it's super quick. Just make sure it boots up and doesn't crash or give you a black screen or everything, and you'll be just fine on that front as well. Now in this case, it looks like we're just fine. I'm going to log a few minutes of gameplay, but it's, like I said, use your best judgment. And that is exactly how I would test a DS Lite before I bought it. I hope you enjoyed the little tutorial, and if you use this for yourself, go for it. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.